Hey guys, it's Reb. Welcome back to the Extreme F and Review podcast here. This is going to be a little bit different because we record a week in advance of all our episodes. This would have been recorded during Thanksgiving week, and frankly, we took the week off from recording. So, in the meantime, instead of presenting a TNN episode, which we only have two left, and we have Anarchy Rules coming up next week, we are going to instead present a little bit of a treat for you on the Independent Wrestling Shootout that Menders and I do on the YouTube channel. We have episodes where we interview people from the independent scene, and we actually got lucky because one of the ones we interviewed just a few weeks ago was none other than the former ECW referee HC Loc, also part of the Carnage crew and Ring of Honor. And he sat down with us for about an hour, and it was a blast. Such a cool guy. Had plenty of stuff to say about ECW. We'll find out what he's up to today, what he's doing in wrestling and all that. So hopefully you will enjoy this. In the meantime, and next week we will be back with Anarchy Rules, and then the weeks after that we will finish up ECW on TNN and move on to the next stage. We're still kind of debating what we do after that, but it'll be cool. So thanks everybody for joining us on this, and enjoy HC Loc, and we'll see you next week.
I'm going to let you do the honors.
I will do the honors. The original OG, you may know him from the Carnage crew and Ring of Honor. He was, of course, a referee in ECW back in the day, but HC Loc, how are you, sir?
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for joining us. I know it's kind of a bit of a shuffle, but I'm glad we were able to make it happen today.
Yeah, I'm real thrilled that we are. I'm sorry for all the delays, but I'm glad we're here now.
So, where are we talking to you from? Are you still up in the Rochester area?
Yeah, sort of. I'm about an hour and a half south of Rochester, and I can see that my lights are flickering here behind me. I'm sorry about that. I hope you can kind of see my face, but
that's all right.
Maybe it's a blessing if you can't. I'm getting pretty old. But, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we just watched you in action on ECW refereeing.
Really?
Before we came on the air, because we do our Extreme F&R Review.
Oh, that's awesome. So
we've been doing we saw all the ECW on TNN episodes, so
yeah,
we've seen a lot of you.
Yeah. Really? That's cool. Yeah, that was an exciting time.
Yeah.
I mean,
a
lot of people.
What was that, Reb? Do you remember?
What's that?
Was it the tag match? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, FBI and Doing and Roadkill.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
When FBI had the tag belts.
That was a fun time. Yeah, I don't remember that match specifically, but yeah, those were good days. I don't know if a lot of people know or if you guys know, but I technically was really never a referee. That was just kind of I clearly refereed those matches, but that was just all like kind of character storyline to eventually present me as a wrestler. And of course, I wrestled quite a bit in ECW, mostly on the house shows. But before that blossomed, as we all know, the company went out of business, but it was still a great time.
Yeah. Well, that's where I first saw you was during the feud with Carino and Dusty back in
awesome.
that summer.
Yeah.
And you can ask Menders, I'm a huge Dusty mark. So
how can you not be? Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So how is it? Like, I know doing my research that you go back a long way with Carino, but throwing in a guy like Dusty Rhodes in there, how is it like just getting to work with Dusty at that point in your career?
It was, oh man, it was mind-boggling, really. I mean, it was such a blessing. And I mean, the older I get, I guess maybe the cornier I get when I think about stuff like that, but it was it was literally a blessing. How that all came about was just the two things didn't have anything to do with each other. It was just happenstance. But my first singles match ever was with Steve Carino. I wrestled for this isn't what you asked, but I wrestled for like a year and a half just doing like 6-mans and 8-mans and battle royals. And that's just how they broke us in those days. The first time I was one-on-one was with Steve Carino. And then fast forward and we're in ECW at the same time. And I ended up just kind of falling into that spot where if you know that whole storyline, I got busted open by Steve Carino in Milwaukee. Did my first live promo in front of the crowd and went really well. and he murdered me with that with that cowbell. And little footnote to that, I was also on ring crew at the time, right? So if you see me gushing blood, if you watch that, you could see me go, oh, and real quick reach down and try wiping up the mat because I know I'm the jerk that's got to clean it up later. I'm like, oh, all right, we'll worry about that later. But
we'll worry about that later.
but we ended up anyway, you asked about Dusty, and when we got, that was to get Steve ready for the pay-per-view. And we got to the day of the pay-per-view, I got there, and Tommy Dreamer says to me, Dusty Rhodes has requested you be in his match. And think about that sentence. You know what I mean? I hadn't even been in the room to meet him yet, you know? And he requested me, you know, so it was what an honor, you know, it was amazing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Reb. Sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, yeah, because the thing I remember vividly is the spot where you taped the cowbell to Carino's head, and then Dusty hit the chair shot on him.
Yeah, that was totally on the fly too, because Dusty couldn't get it to stick, you know, so Dusty couldn't do it, you know, so all of that stuff. Steve's like, help him tape that thing to my head. So I'm doing it and I'm holding it there, and I kind of, you could see me send him into Dusty. That's one of those happy accidents, you know. It was probably cooler than if it happened the way they planned it to, you know. It was neat.
Yeah.
But when you had your first match with Carino, I'm just curious. Did he have his blonde hair then, and did he bleed?
He did not bleed. He did not have blonde hair. He was we were two young punks that didn't know what we were doing, although he knew more than me. He'd been around a year and a half or so, maybe longer than I have, but he was just you know, he was great, you know, but to look at him, you would have never thought he was going to be world champion someday. He was a skinny kid with stringy black hair and a singlet, and a full singlet, you know, and you know, everybody grows up, and he did, and became one of the best in the world, still is.
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw Carino, he was almost a dead ringer for the 1-2-3 kid.
Oh yeah, he got that all the time. Matter of fact, there was rumors, and I don't think that anybody ever, I don't know if there was anything to this or not, but there was rumors at the time. Remember when they did the fake Razor and fake Diesel, that they would make him the fake 1-2-3 kid. You know, that was, and I don't know if that was just stuff that people were ribbing about in the locker room, or if anybody ever really discussed that for real. But
I actually remember him saying something about that. I think he was on Cabana's podcast years ago, and that came up. So I was wondering if he was just ribbing, or if that was actually the case.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So did he have a hand in getting you into ECW?
He didn't, actually. It was I hadn't seen him in, you know, several years by the time we both ended up there, and basically in those days, what you would do is, if you were a local guy, and you, still today, I always tell people, everybody tells people, if you're a decent trainer, or that if you want to get on a wrestling show, show up early and see if you can help, right? And so I would do that. I started coming to ECW shows, and just getting there early and helping set up the ring, and then seeing if they'd let you work out. And I did that like twice, and I went really good, and I was so nervous and so scared. But then by that point, I had already been booked to go to Ocala, Florida, and train with Dory Funk for a week.
Nice.
And that was his first. He was doing they called them the Funkin' Dojos for WWE, and you guys probably remember that. Yeah. And then when there was that split, he started the Funkin' Conservatory. He was doing the exact same thing, the exact same class, the same curriculum, but he was doing it by himself. And I maybe emailed him, probably emailed Marty, his wife, you know, and got invited down there to do that, sent him a tape, the whole deal. And I went down there and spent a week with him. And it was me, a buddy of mine named Dave DeJohn, who I went to wrestling school with, the guy who would be the Musketeer, who would be in ECW a little bit, and Amy Dumas, Lita, she was there. And that's where we became really good friends. And at the end of the week, Coach Funk took aside three of us, And it happened to be me, Amy, and my buddy Dave. And he had poignant words for all of us. But for me, again, it was one of those, I can't believe this happened the way it did. And I've been blessed to have a few things like this in my career. But he looked at me and he said, your work is excellent. You're a great carpenter, which means you can build a match. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that word. And I had to pretend like I knew what he meant at the time. But you're a great carpenter. And his exact words were, and this is Dory Funk Jr., right? He said, I think you can draw money for any company in the world, and I'd like to help. I think ECW would be a good fit. And I'd been there a couple times already, right? And it was definitely I would say my first choice, not just because I was a fan, which I was. It seemed like, well, they were a Northeast-based company. They were going everywhere at this point, but, and it seemed maybe attainable, from early on in my career. If you remember Hunter Q. Robbins, who was there when he was, and Larry Winters, when it was Eastern Championship Wrestling, I'd work with those guys every weekend, and they were kind of telling me, we should try to see if we can get you an ECW. And, you hear a lot of stuff like that, and I love those guys, you know what I mean? But, you never know who can really help or who can't, and you just try to be polite and say, thank you, sir, Well, here I am, and it's Dory saying, I'll call Tommy Dreamer. Holy crap. So I showed up. Yeah. So I show up next week to an ECW show like I'd been doing for, however long. And, only a couple weeks, I guess, at that point. And Dreamer says, go get in the ring and have a match. So I did, and that went well. And that's kind of how I got started. He actually said afterward, he says, you did great. He said, I can't offer you a paying full-time job now, but if you're, if you'd like to come to the shows, you're always welcome. And we'll see. You never know what can come of it. So what happened from there was it took 2 months, and I came to every show. And this is when we're working 4 nights a week in all over the place. Right. And I'm helping with the ring. I'm luckily I had friends on the ring crew, including Tony DeVito, who was later my partner. So they let me stay in their room, so I didn't have to pay. So for that, I was thankful for that. But bust my butt, set up the ring, do anything that was asked of me, work out with Tracy Smothers every day before doors open, tear down the ring, do all those things. And I remember exactly where we were. We were in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and my wife at the time, my first wife, I'd called home, and she told me that she was pregnant with our son. I said, oh my God. I said, I got to get a job, or I got to come home. That's all there is to it, Yeah. So the next day we go, I set up the ring. I do what I always do. Bill Alfonso comes up to me and says, matter of factly, looking dead serious look on his face. He says, I want you to go find Chris Chetty, Danny Doring, Roadkill, Tony DeVito, and Angel, and maybe a couple other people, but I remember those. He says, go get them and come find me. So, yes, sir. And I went on, I found them all. I said, Fonz wants to see you. Hey, Fonz wants to see you. So I found the last guy over at Watts, brought him over to Fonz. I said, here you go, sir. And they were all sitting in a circle. And Fonz goes, sit down. And I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it, but I didn't know what was coming. And he pointed to me and he said, this meeting is about you. He says, you need to know that over the course of the last 2 months, everybody in this circle at least one time has come to me and asked if I could help get you hired here. You've showed up when you didn't have to. You've showed up when there wasn't money. You've busted your butt in the ring. You've done everything that's asked for you. And I'd like you to know that starting right now, you're a full-time employee of Extreme Championship Wrestling if you'd like to be. And it was the day after I found out that I was going to have my son, right? So it's like, wow. I don't know what you believe in, but some things seem like they line up, like they're meant to be, So not that we were making record-breaking money by any means, but, $75 a night is a lot better than no money a night,
right.
And I was blessed that, I would, you talk about paying your dues, but in an effort to show the company that I wanted it and the fact that I had a family to feed, I was on ring crew, $75 a night. I'd wrestle a referee, that's $75 a night. And then I would sell T-shirts as they were leaving the building. That's $75 a night. Tommy Dreamer would pay me that. So I would do okay, but if you think about that, there was nights when people complain now and you hear them talk about, oh, I had to drive 3 hours for that show, or that guy wouldn't, said if I wanted to be on his shows, I had to show up and help with the ring. Brother, I drove the ring truck, set up the ring, set up the chairs, worked out with Tracy, wrestled, refereed, and ring announced a lot of times on the same show, all three. Sold T-shirts, and then tore down the ring and drove to the next town. So I'll put that up against anybody's paying your dues stories, but it led to a great life. I was lucky to do it.
I had to chuckle as he was going through some of those, Reb, because some of those are friends of our show. Because we've had Fonzie on twice. And
oh my God, he's the best.
He is.
You are the third tag team partner of Tony DeVito we've had on one of our shows.
Yes.
So
really?
Yeah, we've had Angel, we've had Justin.
Angel and Justin, and Justin would team with us, later. He'd become a Carnage Crew member later. So,
we're going to get to the Carnage Crew.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to hijack your show. I get talking about these stories, and I could talk all night. So
that's exactly why we do this, is because we're marks for backstage stories, for road stories, for
beautiful.
We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, good. Good.
Because we've had Jack on too, Jack Victory.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Victory. Yeah. Sandman. We had quite a few ECW guys on our shows. So
that's awesome.
I'm glad you got to bring up like all the dues you were paying, because we do have a lot of young wrestlers that watch this show, and I try to get people on that can kind of impart wisdom when they can. So I'm glad you were able to work that in there, because like there's a lot of young talent around here in their what would you say, early 20s, late teens that watch this show, that are
late teens, early 20s. Yeah, we've got some that have we've got one that's not even out of high school yet that watches.
Yeah.
That's been great. Working pretty good around here. But we've got a lot of the guys that we work with or that we've talked to and things like that come out of St. Louis a lot. And we've got some from
Indianapolis.
Since we're in Illinois, it's kind of, we don't go so much up to Chicago, but we kind of stick around the Indianapolis, St. Louis area. Nice. And then, of course, we follow the GCW stuff. So
cool. Yeah. I got to work a GCW show a couple weekends ago. It's always fun there.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I have what I call my Mender's laws.
Sure.
But I have different laws, and one of my Mender's laws is two guys that know each other will knock the living crap out of each other because they're friends. Are you and Slade friends?
We are now. Yeah. I really enjoyed that young man. It's he's a guy whose work I wasn't very familiar with, before I went there.
You got real familiar real quick.
Yeah. And I mean, you never know in those scenarios, it's I mean, I'll be very honest with you guys. I'm sure that there's people out there that don't know or don't care who I am. You know what I mean? As far as a pro wrestler goes, but I also get a lot of, I just do. I've been doing it 30 years. I get a lot of, oh, sir, it's an honor to work with you. I get a lot of that too, so you don't know what to expect. And he was very kind, very respectful, very good. And I'd seen a little bit of what he does. I'm like, cool. I dig that, and we just went for it. We talked for a minute, and I think I said, no, I understand what he does and that he's going to be good out there. And anything we might have talked about before we went out there, we kind of went out the window, and we just had fun and beat each other up in a respectful working way and professional way. And I really enjoyed it.
The thing that always comes, sorry about that, Menders, but
no, you're good.
The thing that always sticks to me about GCW, and I've been to a few GCW shows over the years, and it's got this atmosphere that really revolves around the fans and the energy that they bring in. And I can see, like when you said that everything you plan goes out the window, how much of that is dictated by the fans and the response and all that?
Well, for me personally, all of it. It's if you and I are going to have a match tonight, GCW or anywhere else, no matter how much we talk beforehand or how much we plan out, that's just plan A. You know what I mean? Plan B could easily, come into, depends on as soon as I get out there. You know what I mean? I always say, you got to see which way the wind's blowing a little bit. And if the fans are gassing you up or they're not buying what you're doing, then you start doing something else. But very much, especially in a situation like that, you're working a guy like Slade and you're on a GCW show anyway. And, you got lots of toys in the ring with you. If the fans are gashing you up a little bit, maybe swing a little harder and, or not even that. I shouldn't say that. I would say I'm more apt to tell somebody to hit me. You know what I mean? In those situations,
It just spikes the adrenaline a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, there or anywhere else, I can't give you a percentage, but a lot of my matches, maybe most, there'll be at least one point in there where whatever idea we had in the back, I have a better idea in the moment, or at least I think I do. So I do a little something different, but then we get right back to wherever, but that's to me, that's what working is, that's, in fact, it is, that's what working is working with the people, working together to do something, rather than just remembering everything. And I'm not knocking people that just do that, because sometimes that's how it is. Hey man, that one is exactly the way we planned it, which is cool. But I get a lot of satisfaction out of, hey, what type of stuff do you like to do? Oh, cool. Yeah, here's some stuff I might do. And then I, usually as the veteran of my matches, not because I'm good, just because I'm old. Well, I'll say, cool, man. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe we'll do those things. Just listen to me, all right? And usually I say, yeah. And then we'll go out there and we'll, there'll be some semblance of whatever we discussed in the back, but there's always a lot. I'll give you a perfect example. 2 nights ago, or whenever it was, I was wrestling. I guess it was 2 nights ago, and I had a 4-way match. And geez, and it was fun and it was easy. And I knew there was going to be one section where I was in there with one guy by myself. And when we came out, people were really into me, and a guy showed me that he had a prosthetic leg, and he was hollering to me. He goes, just like in Philly, right, Loc? You want to take it back to ECW? And he's trying to tell me that if I want to hit the guy with his leg, I could do it, right? And so kind of dust settles. It's just me and one guy in the ring, and the people were really up. They were really into it. And looked out, and that guy was cheering. I go, throw me it, dude. And he did, and I sent the guy off the ropes with one arm and held the leg in the other one. I whacked him and threw it back to the guy. And of course, that was, the biggest reaction of the match. But I can't call that in the back. I didn't know that guy was going to be there,
Exactly.
So, yep. But so that's the fun of it, Yeah.
Well, I have to say, just being as a fan, when you're watching matches like that, I think the ones that are called in the ring are the ones that work the best, in my personal opinion.
I think so. I mean, for me, for my taste, and, I really want to be careful not to crap on people that disagree or don't do it that way. But especially in today's wrestling, where it can be, when there's amazing athletes, listen, I'm a fat old man and I couldn't do some of the stuff that they did. And when I wasn't a fat old man, I couldn't do the stuff that a lot of these guys do. So I'm not, God bless them. It's amazing. But you watch some of these matches and, I hasten to name names, but they might be on television and they might be on Wednesday nights. Okay. And you can look there and you can say, okay, that is amazing. But I can also know for a fact that you sat and practiced that, because how can you cannot do that unless you practice that. You know what I mean? It can't be done. That to me, it's all entertainment. Well, what I find entertaining is when it doesn't look like you practiced it. That's my taste, so
I kind of the same way.
Yeah.
We're exactly the same. Well, I believe I know exactly who you are talking about. And yeah, that's kind of the reason that they're not my favorites. That's
yeah. I mean,
listen, the more it looks rehearsed, the more I have a harder time believing it.
For sure. And there's somebody who's going to watch this and say, Loc, they're making more money than you. They sure are. God bless them. But the professional wrestling has been around for 125 years doing it the other way. So I think I'm right too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not that everybody's, there's not really a wrong or right. If it's working for you, it's working for you.
Right.
So yeah, we have our opinions about that Wednesday night show. We don't speak about it too often.
It's rarely on the talent though.
We never have a problem with
most of our
the talent.
criticisms are just
yeah.
Tony Khan is actually from the town I'm talking to you from in Champaign, Illinois. So
is that right? I knew he was out that way somewhere. Seems like a lovely man. I don't know him.
He seems like a perfectly nice guy, but bless his heart, he's trying to do everything himself, and it's it's something Bubba Ray always talks about on Busted Open when he's critiquing AEW. It's that Tony tries to do the booking and everything without any help, and sometimes it shows.
He needs some. Well, okay, I'm gonna bring it up because we have a expo here in Indianapolis.
Squared Circle
every
Expo.
Year. Squared Circle Expo. Last year we actually got to meet I got to meet Gertner and Blue Meanie.
That's where you got the shirt.
Got my shirt from.
Love it.
But when we were there, the NWA guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Latimer was there. Well, Camille happened to be with him. And I actually had a very good conversation.
She is lovely, by the way.
She is lovely. We love her. But I had a very respectful conversation with her about how I hated the booking that they did with her.
Oh, yeah.
And the way we talked about it, it was like, look, this is nothing against you. I think you're awesome. But I don't think the storyline they had for you should have been the storyline they had for you.
Yeah.
Or if it was, then they should have made her look more like a beast. And that, but again, like I said, I was able to have that conversation with her. There's a lot of the AEW guys that we've been able to have conversations with that, hey, we have nothing against you guys.
Yeah.
But we just don't completely agree with the direction that they're taking or how quickly they get to the payoff.
A lot of those guys, I can tell you, feel the same way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's their job and they're doing the best they can and they're getting paid and, stuff like that. But there's, again, without betraying any confidences, I can tell you there's someone within the WWE system right now who happens to hold one of the many belts that had a conversation with me when he still worked there about similar frustrations. So it's not just the fans that think it, but having said that, it's great. It's great for the people that work there. It's great that Tony's so generous with his money and his time. And, and it's a very cool thing. You know what I mean? I'm giving you the politically correct version right now, but that is true. I do believe that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
At the same time, I run a wrestling company now with some partners and we try to do things a little bit differently booking wise, so, but it's his money. He can spend it any way he wants. Right. I guess.
Yeah. Well, we like that slow burn for storylines. We like that slow burn. Draw it out as long as you can. We like that.
Well, not to get too much into it, but if, again, like not to dump on him because I think it's great. And, I'm not a hypocrite either. If Tony Khan wanted to book me and Tony tomorrow, I'm sure we would do it and do the best we could with it. So I'm not, you know what I mean? But having said that, I think that if Tony was the writer of the show Friends, Ross and Rachel would have got married in the first episode. And then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So, but,
be a dream match.
Right. Yeah.
Reb, you need to ask him the question that we had, what we said they should do for WrestleMania next year when they're over in, or when they go to.
So they're taking WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
The year next. We went on, what was it, a 40-minute?
We went on a 40-minute rant.
Talking about how Tony needs to take advantage of that and just do just a massive AEW pay-per-view and the collective and all that stuff and have it surround AEW the way that it's always all the companies come to wherever WrestleMania is every year.
Yeah.
We think he's missing out on a great opportunity there.
Well, we don't know that he is. He might be planning.
He might be doing it. You know, I mean, that very much seems like
because
a smart move. You know,
that's going to be a huge vacuum for a lot of guys for bookings.
Very much so. That the boys and the fans schedule their year around that. You know, so if it's not going to be here, then he absolutely should do that. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But you know, it seems like a smart move for sure.
We even went so far as to try to tell him where he should book it.
Oh yeah, where's that?
We think he ought to go to Jacksonville because that would save him some money because he's got the Jacksonville arena.
He could do an indie show in the stadium, and then Daly's place for all the indie shows.
Then Daly's place for all the indies.
A little selfish for Indianapolis.
Yeah,
we've already decided because WrestleMania is supposed to come to Indianapolis eventually sometime. So when it gets announced, Reb and I have decided we are not going to WrestleMania.
No.
And we're going to hit as many indie shows as we can around Indianapolis.
That's the fun part. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, those are great. I mean, I love those weekends. 2 years ago or whenever it was, when we were in Philly, when Mania was in Philly, I mean, it was just, for me personally, I mean, it's funny, you know, but the Monday afterwards, I'm on the phone with Tony and we're tearing up, you know, because it was just so, well, plus we're old men, you know, so we get to look back and feel so lucky, but there's all those indies and Mania happens and I got to be a guest at night one, you know, just to watch, you know, and then leave there and go straight to work for GCW at the midnight show. Okay. And meanwhile, the night before, they did Extreme Reunion or whatever, ECW tribute show, basically, at the ECW arena, and it was all ECW guys, and it was sold out. And it's just we never wanted that weekend to end, you know. So, so for us personally, that was great. But was that
midnight show at GCW? That wasn't the clusterfuck, was it?
That was the clusterfuck. It was. Yeah. It was one match that went like
2.5 hours.
I can't remember, like
at least
3 or 4 hours or something.
Yeah,
you know,
it goes forever.
It was nuts, and we were like the third people at the third or fourth entrant. You know, we come out together as a tag team. You know, but it was fun.
If you get done that early, then you can just leave.
Yeah, well, I ended up running my mouth and talking. We definitely left before it was done, but I was still there for hours, you know. And but it was cool, you know. It's Mania weekend, and it's the GCW shows are fun anyway because they're just like, I don't know, like class reunions or something like that, you know, because there's always good people around. But that being Mania, like Paul London was there just hanging out in the crowd, so like I go and I hadn't seen him in years, so I just hugged him and squeezed him and thought I hurt his neck. But it was just great to see him, you know, and so it was just a fun weekend, but that was a great night.
Yeah, Reb took me to my first GCW show this year.
Oh yeah.
So we went to Indianapolis, and it was so fun. Like I get there, and I was like, I feel like I'm home. This is not because I hadn't been to a GCW show before. Because
Dr. Redacted took a guy in the outhouse.
Yeah, Dr. Redacted took a guy into a porta potty.
I think those things, as cool as they are, and it's so awesome. I mean, I think they're confirmed the biggest indie in the world, right? Probably, but
at least in the country.
Yeah, but watching them, if you're watching them on, I guess it's Triller now, not Fight. It's nothing like being there live.
Oh no,
you're like, you feel like you're part of something, and being backstage, like working that show. You know, I haven't done very many. I've maybe done 3 or so GCW bookings in the last 2-3 years, you know, but it's just, they're always so fun. It's like, I'm so glad I'm here. You know, it's everybody just having a great time, and it's I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm sure you'll ask me, or if not, but some friends and I are promoting a thing called Flex Wrestling now, and we're really, really excited about it. It's going really well. But
we're going to get to that for sure.
We're going to get to that.
Just a quick version of it is part of our business model being like, how, long story short, how professional can we make this, right? You know, and everything is dot all the I's, cross all the T's, you know, type of thing. But you go to GCW and it's this big thing. But like, for instance, there was a ladder match at the show in Rochester, and some of my students were in it, and some of the Rochester students were in it. Like the standouts, they get in their big shot. Mm-hmm. And Jordan Oliver was a fan of some of these guys and has become friends of them. And they literally just come out on the stage and watch, like, and you can't imagine that, like, unless it's part of the show, you're not going to see on television, whatever, Roman Reigns watching the other matches. You know what I mean? It was just purely because it's a team vibe. It's a family vibe type of thing, so got to plug in my phone here so I don't lose you.
At that Indianapolis show, how many guys did we see just hang out at the gimmick tables, like watching the matches?
Lot. I mean, well, you have to take consideration though too. A lot of those guys I had seen at other independent shows, so I actually, Marcus Mathers, Jordan Oliver, Billy Starks was there. I have a picture of Billy Starks photo bombing a picture of me and Marcus Mathers. I mean, great. I got 4 pictures with Dr. Redacted. We got to hang out. How long did we talk to Manser?
A good 25 minutes, probably.
Yeah, we talked to him for a long time.
He's such a great dude.
Oh, he is. I told him, and I've said this to many people. I considered him like the Dick Slater of his era.
Yeah, that's perfect. His work. Mm-hmm.
And also just a cool guy. So
yeah, very cool.
Well, and then we had a lot of fun. KJ Orso.
Yes.
We had him on the show. So we show up.
Back in his Fuego days,
him and Sam Stack back in Fuego days. But we had him and Sam on Stackhouse. I've had Sam on a few times. But KJ actually remembered me because of my hair, because I have funky colored hair.
Nice.
And then Marcus Mathers had remembered me because of my funky colored hair at a different show I had seen him at. And then Jordan Oliver looked at me. He's like, I think I remember you. And I said, I was at the show where you got your concussion back in Terre Haute, Indiana. He goes, oh, yeah, I remember. I kind of remember that. And he goes, I remember people being there. And I was like, yeah, we were there for that one.
I don't think Menders remembers her actual hair color. It's always something funky these days.
I have, because it's purple and blue right now. So yeah, it's kind of my shtick.
Well, I'm an honorary member of the Baldies, as you know, Menders, for a reason. So
you are. Did you? You have to tell HC about it. Angel made him an honorary member of the Baldies. Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Did he freeze?
I think he froze. As we just continue on talking.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, we will see what happens there.
You want me to take him out? Or are you going to?
Let's see. Let me check. Make sure he didn't send me a message here.
Okay.
Oh, he jumped out. We'll see if he jumps back in there. But
yeah, hopefully he jumps back in.
He did say he was plugging his phone in. So
that's true. I really hope, because I really want to hear more about Flex.
Yes. I mean, it is the Independent Wrestling Shootout, so we got to talk about the Independent. I'm trying to remember if it was Jelly come out.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey.
HC Loc, you are back, sir.
I am back for now. We'll see. We'll see how this works. If it happens again, maybe we'll try next week.
We'll call it good.
Okay.
We will definitely bring you back if something happens, though.
Okay.
We haven't even scratched the surface yet.
Yeah.
We haven't even got the Carnage crew yet.
No.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
trying to hold my phone and face completely still, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, Reb, go for it. Do we want to talk Flex with him real quick?
Let's get into Flex now, just in case something happens.
The next time we bring him on, we can talk Carnage Crew.
Yeah,
all right.
That sounds good. All right. So how did Flex Wrestling come about? Because you guys are, am I see right? You're having your first show soon? Like you're just
Second show. Yeah. First show went great. I can tell you a little bit about that, but well, in all honesty, I've been doing it a very long time. I've been a wrestler 30 years, and I've always trained guys and been the guy that helps backstage and stuff like that. And I'd gotten the job booking at a local indie, and I enjoyed it. I really did. But to be completely candid, if you're not the owner, then you don't have final say, even if they say you're the booker. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is totally fine and understandable. But there reaches a point where it's like, I think we should be doing this. And the talent will ask you, hey, what am I going to do on that show? And you'll tell them. And I think that we should do this to advertise for that show or run this angle to get there. And you ultimately don't have the final say. You know what I mean? If the guy that writes the checks or hands out the envelopes decides differently or doesn't see the same vision, which is his prerogative, then it doesn't happen. Okay. And it got to the point where maybe it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is, and decide, okay, am I really good at this? Or are people just being polite for 30 years telling me that I am? Let's see, so I have some trusted partners, friends. Sean Carr's an amazing pro wrestler out here in the Northeast. I don't know if his name reaches out there to you guys, but it should. He's a star. And actually a trainee of mine, his name's Ryan Rice. He is a great former referee, had to retire for medical reasons, but he's got a great mind for the business and all kind of drive. And the three of us came together and we just stumbled on it. We said, oh man, what if we did it ourselves sometime? What if we did it ourselves? And then somebody came up with the idea of Flex, Finger Lakes Extreme Wrestling, because we live in the Finger Lakes region.
Right.
And I'd always wanted to be like kind of that, almost like a mom and pop store type of thing, like do something for those local people that they can get excited about. Yeah. And if our local people will make it destination to come see us and support us, then that's a good start. And then we can spread our wings and see if we can grow. So that just kind of fell into place, and we partnered with an amazing venue here called the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. It's a 2,000 seat venue with a world-class stage and lights and sound, literally, I think Queensryche is booked there and Slaughter, all these, bigger bands, type of thing. And, but it's all kinds of space. So, we just really decided it was time to put up or shut up, and I got some trusted friends with me, and we booked this first show, and it was great. We had almost 500 people there, and there was the old dusty line swinging from the rafters, baby. And they were, because of the balcony, and they were up there all the way around and everything. And then there was the area in the back where they serve food and all that stuff. So and that was full too. So we were doing really, really good. It picked up a ton of buzz. We actually had a film crew there that filmed the documentary of the first day, and they're shopping that now to film festivals, and hopefully that'll end up on Amazon and stuff like that, Amazon Prime. And so it's going really well. We've at least out this way, we've created quite a bit of buzz. Mike Johnson for PW Insider is a good friend of mine, and he's plugged us quite a bit, and been very supportive, and you're doing well when the day after your first show with when pretty decent name talent that you would recognize starts contacting me to be like, hey man, what's the next show? Hey, so we're doing something right.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the talent that you got, because you said you've been training guys, and we saw a lot of young talent from your promotion on that GCW show in Rochester. So just run down some of the names for some of our viewers that may not know who you got.
Oh man, we've got of course myself, but there's Sean Carr, who I can't speak highly enough of, a guy named Maddock. He's the young lion of the West, he calls himself. He's one of my favorite opponents. a guy who's a student of mine, but he's nobody's student anymore. He's ready for the next level. I'll always be proud to call him that, but he's a guy he's ready for a bigger stage. His name is Chael Connors. He's fantastic. He's got it all. He's a total package. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's guys like Carmelo Lee and Julio Diamante and some of these people that I'm sure a lot of your listeners and viewers haven't heard yet. But if you would take the chance to stream us live or check us out on YouTube or any of the things we have coming up, these are some names that I'm not telling you maybe you're gonna see in the AEWs and the NXTs and beyond for many years to come.
Yeah.
We're really, really lucky to have the group of folks that we have, and to have the venue that we have. It's an amazing place for pro wrestling. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures, but it was we were proud to be there and lucky to be there. It was amazing.
Yeah. And where are you streaming your content on? Is it going to be
right now? It's everything. I'm kind of talking fast in case a storm comes again.
I got you.
Everything is streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and I think TikTok and all that stuff. We're looking into I think by event 3 or something like that. There's some logistical stuff we have to work out. We want to do the Triller thing and all that stuff. But our this is it for me. This is not saying that my career's ending, but this is the end all be all for me. I putting everything I have, not only my name and reputation that I might have, but money and time into Flex Wrestling. I really want it to be something that not just our local fans, but the industry is aware of, and that people keep an eye on. And I want it to be a place for guys like Chael Connors to say, hey, I got my big break at Flex, not because we were somebody that could necessarily pay him millions of dollars, but could get him ready for the places that will, and get him seen by the people that can offer him that job. So that's my goal.
Yeah, I'm looking at YouTube right now. I see where you got Flex Wrestling. You got your channel up for you can subscribe to that. And there's your first show was in the beginning.
In the beginning, yep.
And that is up. The full show is on there if you want to check that out. So I will definitely be doing that later on.
Yeah, please do. It was really good.
Reb, I'm putting this down before I get mad at it.
Minders had to take a gander at the blood and guts match, I guess.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I forgot that was on.
It's okay. You're not missing much yet.
Yeah.
So looking at your the cover picture on your channel, is that Rhino on the show you were on?
He was our it only makes sense to have somebody that everybody would know on the first few shows until our local guys are people that they know, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And Rhino's been a friend for, I don't know, whenever. I know that we started ECW the same year. So,
I think he's gored you a few times on TNN.
Oh my God. Yeah. One time it's Jesus. One time there was something where they had PJ, just incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, for lack of a better term, as we call it, shit can me into Rhino so he could spear me out of the air. And you can see if you're looking for it, you can see my gum go flying out of my mouth.
I remember that because I thought it was a tooth.
We thought it was a tooth.
That's what buddies do.
Hey, we've had Rhino down our neck of the woods a few times. Once in Clinton, Illinois for our friend's Pro Wrestling Glory show, and then down in St. Louis. He's been there quite a few times.
Yeah,
well, he's their champ.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that never ages. I mean, like he looks exactly the same as he did when I met him all those years, 25 years ago, maybe more. No, more than that, 28 years ago, something. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not that long. I don't know, but a long time ago.
And the guy seems like just a big teddy bear when you're talking to him outside of the ring.
Sweetheart of a man. Sweetheart. I mean, he could kill you. I mean, he could murder you in a second, but he wouldn't. Hopefully, because he's just that nice guy. I was just telling this story yesterday to a couple students, or day before, because they were worried about, did I hit you too hard or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That came up. And there's this story of Steve Corino having a super kick Rhino in ECW. And Paul says to Steve something along the lines of, I won't get the exact quote, but it was, if you potato him, he's going to kick your ass. Potato is, if you don't know, stiff him. He's gonna kick your ass. Steve's like, yes, Paul, I know. And he goes, but if you miss him, he'll kill you. So you better hit him. So you better hit him.
We always say that. I mean, my Mender's laws. So one of the Mender's laws we were talking about earlier was if you're friends with the guy in the ring, you're going to beat the hell out of each other.
100%. You always beat up your friends more.
Yeah, you always beat up your friends more.
I don't even I can remember wrestling Angel in ECW, and not on purpose, but literally not even trying to hit him lightly because he's my buddy and I didn't have to. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. So I have that one. I have triple multi-man matches. Champion usually always retains the belt. Not always, but usually always. My other favorite one is he who puts it up goes through it.
Yeah. That's a pretty solid rule. Yeah.
Now that doesn't work for Sandman.
No.
Yeah.
Or Tremont.
Yeah.
Or Tremont. Yeah. Or Tremont.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like I said, I have my Mender's laws, and tag ropes. Tag ropes are a big thing for me.
Yeah, me too. I love. Yeah.
Please tell me you had tag ropes at Flex Wrestling.
Always. Yeah. And the baby faces had to be on the right corner too, not the incorrect corner. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's weird. Well, I spent a lot of my career, and certainly the most notable part of my career, as a member of the Carnage crew. So, I mean, that's so ingrained in me as part of it, is reaching for the tag rope. And if it's not there, if we ever do a show, I'm grabbing the top turnbuckle or something. It's because that's just where my hand goes. It's
right.
Yeah. But
that's probably my biggest pet peeve with some of the shows that we go to, because they're indie shows. They don't have everything, but don't see them using the tag rope. That just kills me.
If it's hanging right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're just not using it at all. It's
yeah. Well, I'm with you.
You may have heard of these guys, the Premier out of Kansas City.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Campbell, Suit Myers, and SK Bishop. But they actually were at a show we were at, and they brought their own tag ropes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I stole them.
Great.
Actually, and she got them to sign
shoelaces. They're shoelaces. Awesome. But whatever works.
Yeah.
So can I ask, are we gonna get the Carnage crew at Flex Wrestling at some point?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think this is much of a spoiler that'll ruin too much, but if everything goes as planned, so Flex Wrestling's kind of business model is to decidedly not be that company that gets to brag we did 40 shows last year. That's great for those people that do that. I would rather run 8 shows a year and have time and money to promote them all correctly and have them all feel like pay-per-views, So
high quality matches,
yeah. So it was on purpose that our first show was September 26th. Our second one isn't until December 6th, coming up here in about 3 weeks. And then after that, it's February 28th. And then in March, we're debuting in a new market, Ithaca, New York, about an hour away from where we are. Okay. And I think that probably Tony will be in for that. And I've got Angel coming into on December 6th. And there's always been that thing where Tony and Angel were the Baldies, and me and Tony are the Carnage crew, and we've wrestled as the Carnage Baldies or whatever the hell, you know what I mean? Like the three of us together, just done stuff like that. We always argue of which one out of the three of us is really the Marty of the team. That old joke, And,
you got to be the Leaf Cassidy of the team if there's 3 of you.
Well, there you go. Why didn't we ever think of that? God dang. But as long as everybody knows I'm the Sean, it doesn't matter.
I can get behind that, because Angel did make me an honorary member of the Baldies.
Did he?
A few months ago. So
fantastic. That's great. Yeah.
We had him on a Sunday, and we were just talking ECW and
all
that fun stuff. And He's actually agreed we're going to have him on our Extreme F and Review show. He's going to do a watch along with us.
Oh, awesome!
For the last pay-per-view that ECW did.
Oh, fantastic!
Since they're all over that one. So.
Yeah.
You know, Menders, I think you'll be okay with it. I'm going to throw out an invite. If you want to do one of these watch-alongs with us on the Extreme F and Review, you're more than welcome anytime.
Oh man, I would love to. Yeah, I'd be thrilled.
We have 2 episodes left of the Teen Show. Then we're going to go through the rest of the pay-per-view run. And then I think we're going to go back to like 97 and circle back to where we missed. But
awesome.
One of these days we'll get you on for like Massacre on 34th Street or something.
Oh,
like that.
Please. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
So our next one coming up right now is Anarchy Rules. So.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, they all some of them. It sounds terrible, but they. But like Massacre on 34th Street, that one stands out. But a lot of them tend to run together in my head, which is maybe sounds terrible, but it's like I have to be reminded which one's which, you know. But for when you're in it, you know, like the big moments for me personally, I can tell you where I were and what we were doing. But a lot of those pay-per-views, even if I was on them, like which one was that again? Because you know you're on the road 4 days a week, and at that time, you know, and just doing the job. But man, best time of my life.
I'm just curious. So when you were on the road, because one of our favorite things is talking road stories with guys.
Yeah.
Who were some of the people? I mean, I'm sure you traveled with Tony, but who was that about the only person you ever traveled with, or who all were your travel buddies? I know you said you did the ring crew. So
yeah, me, Tony, and Angel, Mike Keener, the referee. Me, Tony, Angel, Mike Keener. The Prodigy Tom Marquez, if you remember him, he was ring crew chief for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So he was around
by Jazz on
yeah. And for the short-lived Towel Boy, he was around, he was my student actually. So
I have questions about Towel Boy.
Yeah, I don't know if I got answers, but he was my. I take the blame for him.
So did he say no to anything? That they wanted to do to him?
Probably not in those days, but I mean, we just didn't. You know, it's you just didn't in those days. Even if the same way that it was just such a different time, you know, in that like you didn't. You weren't like allowed to put your hands up for a chair shot. That's how much different the world was then. Mm-hmm. It would be like you wouldn't hardly be allowed to. If you said no to anything, it would, you know, you'd be scared that would follow you around. Right. I can tell you one night on a house show when there was almost nobody there, Dreamer asked me to take the Mike Awesome powerbomb over the top rope. And I did not say no. But my eyes got as big as your head. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's all he needed to see. He goes, nope, never mind. He goes, let's do this thing. I go, no, I'll do it, Tommy. I'll do it. He goes, I didn't say no. He goes, I know you didn't say no. You don't have to do it. We'll do something else. But
you're like, thank you.
I was about that. I'm a big Mike Awesome fan. I love his work. So I was going to ask, how strong was he? Because
he's nuts, dude. I mean, there's all these things where he would just do those power bombs off the top rope and just have to muscle these guys. But not just that, but he would get, I mean, even Spike, who it doesn't matter if he's the littlest guy, that's a human being, you know, and just toss him over one shoulder and walk up backwards.
Oh, I know.
Up to the top rope. You know what I mean? And just, are you kidding me? You know, and
total
Spike, and Spike would mention, oh, that was kind of spooky. I'm like, yeah, well, I bet, you know, but Mike wasn't scared, you know, he was just total. So I remember one time when I was talking about paying your dues, right, on these shows where was lots of times when I was ringing the bell, and I might have also refereed earlier in the night or wrestled on the dark match, but I'd go out and ring the bell. And I knew that the finish was for Mike and Tanaka to do the powerbomb off the top rope through the table, right?
Uh-huh.
And they took the table I was sitting at and broke it for another spot. And I'm thinking, because I'm on ring crew, right? I'm like, that's our last table. I know it is. I went to Staples or Office Max every day in every city in this country to buy the tables, which were $30 then, and they're $150 now, which is why you see guys go through doors on indie shows. Yep. But that's the last. What are they going to do? This is a TV taping or pay-per-view. I think it was TV taping. And Jeff Jones was Mike's manager. Mm-hmm. And here we are, cameras rolling. And I walk up to him right during this match and I'm like, "Hey, Jeff." He goes, "What?" Because, I'm not supposed to be there. I go, "There's no more tables." He goes, "Oh, shit." And he goes, tells Mike, and I could read his lips. He goes, "I don't care." And he did it anyway, off the top rope, onto the broken one, not onto the ring, onto the broken one. Oh. Like, those guys are just monsters, man. Yeah, it hurts my back to tell these stories, but amazing.
We always half wondered if Paul had like a deal with like Home Depot or Staples.
It was send Loc to the store, and that was the deal. We're in St. Petersburg, Florida, one night doing TV taping. I think it was St. Pete's. That there's this famous armory down there that Florida wrestling, when it was territories, ran and all that stuff. It was a big deal place, and we were doing TV, and Paul, or I got word from Paul or something, and me and Mike Keener probably are in the truck, but do not come back until you have 25 tables. You go buy 25 tables for night's TV. And we were going all over. And mind you, even if you were told to go do something, and because as part of your job, you still had to be in the ring stretching with Tracy Smothers if you're a wrestler at 5:00. And do you have to be at two places at once? That's your problem, kid. You better be there. You know what I mean? Pay your dues. So I'm crapping in my pants, driving around, and I don't know. We might have found 17 driving all over. And, it's not like you can look it up on your phone. This is 1998, 1999, And,
right.
Whatever we found, 17 or 18 tables, and brought them in. They broke two. They broke that night. They never. So I guess at least we don't got to go find them tomorrow, But
right. So by my math, that means the 25 tables would have been $750 back then.
Yeah. Now it's a house.
Nowadays, if it's 50 times 25, it's like $3,700.
Yeah, well, maybe not a house then, but it's
a few months rent.
Yeah,
in my case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like the one that we the promotion we have around here, 01, that has it's 01 USA. So that's one of the big indies around here. But that's a big St. Louis Anarchy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so those guys are all around here. So
that's awesome. Every time somebody says the word St. Louis and of course you got me in ECW mode now, and it was just on the road and work, right? Get that ring truck that, by the way, would go like 35 or 40 miles an hour because I had a governor on it. And we're driving it from Long Island all over the country. And that was a story we told for years. Well, was there fun on the road? Well, drove through St. Louis, and for about 5 minutes, I could see that arch. That was it. I didn't get to go see it. Never got to do any sightseeing. Everything was get to the building, get the ring set up, go find tables, work out within the ring, do the show, tear down the ring, sell T-shirts, get in the truck, go to the next town.
So stop grind.
Yeah, I feel like I feel for sure like I've been everywhere and I've seen almost nothing because it's just doing the work. I do like to brag that I've probably peed in every gas station in this side of the country, but that's about it.
That's kind of a story you heard about Ozzy Osbourne. Like when Ozzy did the travel show with his son, that's the thing that he said was he'd been around the world how many times, but all he ever saw was the inside of hotels and concert halls.
That's the life. Yeah.
So it's just it's a never-ending grind, it seems like. But
Reb, I had to grab it because you know how proud I am
you're
of
very
my
proud.
baby.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my baby.
Talked about the clusterfuck.
Yeah, we talked about the clusterfuck a little bit earlier. Gene Snitsky. I got to meet him at the expo, the Squared Circle Expo.
Known him forever. I love him so much. Yeah.
I have a baby.
Oh, you got the baby.
I have the baby.
That's great.
And he even signed it and said Snitsky was here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I knew him.
He buys those things in bulk and just takes them everywhere.
I'm sure. Yeah, I knew him since Indies, since before he was wrestling in a mask, and And I didn't even know that he obviously could see the size in him, but he hadn't really done anything big in the business yet. Neither had I. We were just coming up on some of the same Northeast Indies, and I can remember being in a battle royal with him and grabbing him, and you know how huge he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to chop. I go, "Don't sell this, big man," and I wanted him to just stand there and then murder me afterwards, because what would you do, right? And I smacked him, and he goes flying like I shot him with a shotgun, right? And that's what buddies do.
Yeah, he at the last expo, between Snitsky, the Headbangers,
Ken Anderson,
Meany, and Gertner. That was kind of our little triangle of people that we were hanging out with. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
that's a good triangle.
Yep.
Here comes the rain again. That's my warning.
Well,
all right.
Let's take that as a cue. We're going to have you back because we got so much more to talk about.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for the time. And
guys, thanks for having me. And next time I'll drive down off this hill and we'll do it. I have a property down in actual civilization instead of out here in the boonies, and we'll do it from there. So,
and the next Flex Wrestling show you said is December 6th?
December 6th. Please check us out. Check us out on all your socials. And if anybody happens to see this, that they can make it, flexwrestling.com for tickets. I think there's only like 3 front row left, so which is a good sign because we're like 3 weeks to the show. So it's going really well.
Yeah,
so.
And then we'll share your channel on our Facebook also to get the word out.
Well, make sure you get us the card, and we can promote it.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of shows coming up on the 6th. There's a lot going on here too. So
awesome.
But send us the card. We'll make sure it gets on.
Indeed, I will. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So have a great one.
You as well.
Try to stay dry.
I'm going to try. See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Yeah, that was fun.
It was.
There he goes.
I did check. Flex Wrestling is on Facebook.